So at the end of the last video, we finished manufacturing our claim on Antipater, because we want to go to war with this guy, and we want to get that territory off of him. And if we look now, we'll see that when we click on his little shield to get to him, we can see that he has 794 troops in total. He doesn't have any allies at the moment, although we should be aware that theoretically he could get one by marrying off his kid. And now the declare war button is not greyed out anymore, because if we go to declare war, we can see we've got claims. We've got that claim on Antipater that we fabricated a moment ago. It's also giving us a rough idea here of things we need to think about. We're pretty equal in gold, but we're low enough gold that he can't hire any mercenaries, which is useful to know. It's giving us a predicted strength equivalent in this war, and this number is based on the fact that we can call in our ally, who we got from marrying our daughter to, over here. He is not currently fighting in any wars, and this is an important thing to always check, because if we called him into a war and he was already fighting for his very existence, chances are he's going to focus on fighting his war and not help us out in ours. So when we're sitting here and going, is this a good time to declare war? Well, the Count of Dyrrhachion here is actually currently over fighting in the war on behalf of our liege. He only has 794 troops. He hasn't got any alliances because they'd show up here, and we've got a good claim on him, which would give us double his troop strength. I think we're going to declare this war. Now what you might find is he suddenly decides to marry his son off to try and get some extra troops. That's fine. We've got another daughter we can marry off in an emergency. So if we have to, we should hopefully be able to find another ally. But we're going to hold off on that because we hope we don't have to. But we're going to pick our claim on the county of Antipater. It's going to cost us 125 prestige, so our kind of personal fame, to declare this war. It's going to cost us another bunch of prestige to call our ally in. So just be aware that there is a prestige cost to this. And just as much as the events I was talking about last video, hunts and feasts, lower your stress, the other benefit they do in return for gold is they will boost your prestige. So if you're low on prestige when you start out, these two events will boost your prestige. They might lower it if you get bad events, but generally speaking, they will boost your prestige. But we're ready to go. So we're going to declare this war against him. We're going to say, right, let's get us some claims, and we're going to declare this war. I'm not going to unpause yet. I'm just going to declare the war. And there we go. We're now at war with Count Thomas. And if we look, this is our war panel. Just this little button down here. That's our liege's war. This one here is our war, and you can see that it says we're attacking Count Thomas of Dyrrhachion. And we will win this war when our war score is 100%. We can get war score by battling him, beating him in battles, by occupying the war goal, which in this case is the bit in blue, or by capturing particularly important people like him or his son. So that's something to think about. These are the things that benefit the war. Now more importantly, what we want to do is go back up to our current situation marker here, and you'll see we now have the option. You can call on your ally, Count Sabatios. We're going to say to Count Sabatios here, can you come and help us in this war? And it's going to cost us 75 prestige, but we can see he will agree because he likes us. And we probably, if he didn't like us, he might decide not to come in. So generally speaking, you might want to just check that your ally likes you first. But as you can see here, he does. We're going to call to war. Now, where are our soldiers? Well, our soldiers are going to pop up wherever this little flag is. Now, you can move this flag, you can do other things, but remember, I'm just giving you a scaffolding here for playing the game. So all you need to think about at this point in the game is this is where our troops are going to start. We're going to raise all here. It's going to take us 2 days to raise all our troops. And then I'm going to drop this to speed 3. And I'm going to unpause. And there you go. You can see our troops have formed up. His are starting to form up as well. Now remember, he technically has more troops than us early on. Now, in a minute, our ally over here is going to send us a letter saying, I am totally on board with helping you fight this war. But he's close, but what we don't want to risk is this guy raising his army, which last time I checked is roughly the same size as ours. Could, might be better, He's got a better general, might be better than us, getting down here and getting us. We're going to actually go and hang around by right-clicking on Thessalonica here, because then our ally can send his troops to reinforce, and then we will advance over here together. So we're just going to go over there, and I'm just going to finally check my commander. Now, this number here is telling you how good this particular person is at commanding your armies. And your commanders of your armies are drawn from your vassals or people who are hanging around in your court. And you can see when I click on that little replace thing, just as on the council, it's saying, well, this is everyone that's available to you right now. And different commanders have different traits and things like that. You know, it's all useful to know and all these kind of things. The thing is, you can see is the best marshal we have is currently commanding our troops. There are 2 guests in our court at the moment who, if we paid them, would join our court. And this one is a 17, so he's actually quite a good commander. And if we look at him, he's not a bad leader. He'd actually technically be a better marshal. So actually what we're going to do is see how much he's going to cost. 55, it's a lot of money, but I reckon that's actually pretty useful. So we're going to hire him. He's now a member of our court. We can click on him and make him the commander, and that's going to make these troops a little bit better. Now there are different troop types and they counter different things and all this. Play around with it, try it for yourself. That's the things to learn. If you really want me to do a video about it, pop in on one of my Sunday or Monday streams, ask me and we'll do a video. But for now, that's all we're going to do. And you can see straight away, his troops are moving down here. And our ally has said, yes, I'll absolutely help you in this war. And you can see he's raising his troops as well. And they're coming this way. So we're going to meet in Thessalonica and head over. And this is a key thing to kind of remember. Like, don't just throw your troops into battle against people, particularly as this is a mountainous territory and terrain does make a difference. We'd rather he come into our territory, and we're going to stop actually in Veria because he's coming through, and you can see actually where he's aiming for now. He's going to go for those enemy troops, and he should follow us. Generally speaking, he will try and reinforce us. The AI is much better than it was at this, and you can see we're now both marching down here. Now if you look, you'll see here, it's saying that as things stand, and I've just paused it quickly, if nobody moves, if he doesn't try and move off of sieging down that territory, which is what he's trying to do, that's what that little thing ticking up there is. When we get there, we're going to fight him. And this little green plus means the game thinks that unless we roll really badly, and there's always a randomness element to this, chances are we count as a defender because it's our territory and he hasn't finished besieging it, so we will be the defender. So we will count as defending in hills. Hills are easy to defend. Because we hired that commander, we have a better commander. Our commander has more command traits, those little things that you see around his name there, which is actually his movement speed and retreat losses. We have more men-at-arms counter. That's just a bonus that comes from different unit types playing against each other. That means that because the game is calculating that we're going to get into that battle, and these soldiers are following not far behind, so they're going to get into it as well. It's counting both of them. So if I hover over him, you can see that right now his troops are pathing into the same place. Then we will win that fight quite decisively. You know, it's a plus. We will probably win. Now our commander trait actually makes our troops move a bit faster than these chaps do, so I'm actually going to pull us up short. I'm also not going to bother reading through this event, but I'm just going to remind you that you can see here again how events work. I've got 3 options. One of them is in character, and it gives me an 88% chance of losing a bunch of prestige, and there's a very small chance I'll get some money. Or I can definitely get some gold and gain a little bit of stress. Or I can let the whale, because we're hunting whales for some reason, go free, and I'll get a bunch of prestige. And you'll be thinking about these different values based on your own things and what you need to do. For us right now, I'm actually going to take the gold. And again, it's only a tiny bit of stress, so I don't mind. Now, as I say, I'm going to stop our troops just a little bit short to allow these chaps time to catch up. And you can see that he already thinks he's going to lose. But we're going to catch him, I think, still, because we're faster. Hopefully, you can see a little balance of battle. We're already actually winning. But those reinforcements are going to come in and help. And suddenly we've got a lot more men. We're winning fine. And we've won. Now, you'll notice that our war score has just gone up by 20% because we've now won quite a decisive battle. You'll see that we lost a bunch of troops, but he lost a lot more. And don't forget, we've still got our allies, so we're good. He's retreating. He's forced to retreat, basically, where he goes. So he's running off somewhere over there. We're now going to do what we can do, because we've given him a decisive battle. We're going to go siege down Antipatraea here, which is critical to... It's our war goal. It's what we want to capture. That's going to give us a ton of war score if we siege it down. And you can see at this point that the AI has decided that actually it's better off just going and sieging something down itself. Fine, we'll just let those events pass. It's not important right now. And here you can see, if you want to see how quickly a siege is going, if I click on that, this one's going to last 8 months. This one's going to last 5 months. So what I'm going to do now is I'll end this video here, but you can see he's still running away over there. If he comes back, we'll group up and beat him again. We're going to siege these down, and that's going to tick up our war score. And the next video will start when we have enough war score to piece this war out.